everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Mpulukeng Nematei, and welcome to those who've been here before. Welcome, and I appreciate your support. And if you are here for the first time, you are welcome, very, very welcome. Please stay, press the subscribe option
button,
yes, and guys, please
video.
don't forget to subscribe, like, share with your friends, and comment. We really need to know those comments, guys. They make a difference. So we want to know if what we're saying you agree with it. Even if you disagree with it, it's still fine. Bring your points so that yeah. Okay, guys, like you guys have said you want him back. I'm with Can you please say hi, everybody?
Hello, everybody. It's Innocent here, and I'm back for the second time now. And yeah, I think we had a great time last time, so it was really important for me to come back. And I'm happy to be back again,
Yeah, thank you so much.
Ciao, ciao, everybody.
Thank
Hopefully
you.
we're gonna have fun again today.
We will.
Yeah, definitely we must.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming back and for willing to share your mind. Yeah. So I remember last time we talked about how men should stop chasing the woman.
They should stop chasing.
And some of my friends were like, but then most of the time we feel like most of the time it's men who play this hiding game or whatever. So they wanted us to talk about how should a woman know if the guy is not interested or is playing her. So how should they know? And if I may start, I was listening to this other person, or I've had conversation with other women. Somebody said, if a guy leaves you hanging, like they're talking to you, or you guys have had an appointment and he doesn't come, he doesn't even say anything up until you are the one who's gonna be like, man, but then and then he's like, oh, sorry, man, I've been held up, I've been dead. So these people, and I spoke to these men, they said, if a guy starts to do that, then you must know that you don't matter. Because if you love a person, you will inform them. If something, like sometimes you can't even wait to be with them. So if something is withholding you or delaying you, or plans are changing, you are definitely gonna let the person know, sorry man, I'm held on. Not the person who's waiting to even call you later on. Yes. So that's my intro. But then, since you are the man, please enlighten us. This one should be easy for you.
Because of being a man,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, today we have men that are still boys, so hopefully I'm not a boy, I'm still a man, Because being a man is not just a virtue of birth, it's also a virtue of, learning and wisdom and growing,
And behavior, I think.
And behavior, of course. But just for a start, I would say I think it's important that we value time. Because I think we're discussing all this so that we want to make people aware of the value of time. And I believe we all know that there's a saying that says, time wasted, it will never be regained.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you're going to waste your time with someone that is definitely there, just to keep you or to take you for a ride, I think it's important to get this knowledge and to acquaint yourself in order to know how to identify such a person, So time is a very, very, very precious thing in this world and in this earth. And even if you are a Christian, they say, nobody knows when it's going to be the last hour.
Yeah.
So it's important that you safeguard the time that you are having, because unfortunately we all have equal time, but it's how we actually manage the time that sets us apart. So that also, it's important in how you're going to value your relationship, or how you actually going to maneuver, around the issues of your relationships and whatnot. Because sometimes we hear ladies saying stupid things like, I will have been with this man for 5 years and 6 years and whatsoever years, but still he wasted my time, Then you wonder, what took you so long for you to realize that the man was actually going to waste your time, or he's wasting your time? So we're trying to prohibit that, from reoccurring and re-happening, so that people can be wise enough and they can be knowledgeable enough, and they can know exactly when somebody is actually wasting their time, or when someone is intending to do that. So just to answer the question of your friends
and other viewers
and the other
and
viewers,
somebody new might even be interested in this.
Yeah. So what was the friend's question again, Lean?
They're saying how can you tell
that
the man is not interested or is wasting your time?
Or is wasting your time.
Or he's not serious about you.
Or he's just not serious about you.
Yeah, something along those
something. Well, I believe, women have got what we call instincts within them. Intuition.
Our sixth sense.
Your sixth sense, and that sense is very strong in a woman, It's just that most of the time what I've realized what they do, they tend to somehow choose to neglect it. Or to overlook it. So you what happens is women, they don't really listen to their instincts. Because if you ask a woman whom a man has maybe taken for a ride, when did you start realizing this? She will tell you that, it's been a while. But now you ask her the question, why did you choose to neglect it? That's a very important question that we need to answer. But then, if something becomes consistently, then you must be in a space where you are able to say no to it. You understand what I'm trying to say? And also, you must observe people more than what they say, because people can say one thing and mean the other. So it's important to also observe this man, because women, you must also understand that they are weak. You guys are weak when it comes to appreciation, validation. So any man can use those tactics to actually, to win you over, even if they know their actions exactly that they don't mean what they're saying. So more importantly, I think, it's important that we judge the tree by the fruit that it bears, more than the fruit that it talks about. So any man can say anything, but what you mean, it's how you actually take your actions. You must observe what you're doing thereafter. Because men can come and say, I apologize for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But watch their actions after they've said that they're apologizing. What are they doing? Are they aligned with their apologies, or they're not aligned? They're still repeating the same thing that they were doing. It's also your responsibility as a woman now to understand, then, it's also up to me whether I want to break away from this man or I want to continue, submitting or succumbing to these lies that he's been consistently telling me. So it's a responsibility now of the woman also to be aware and to know these things, and to know when to say, you know what, you are going to waste my time, or you actually wasting my time, and I don't want you in my space. It's as simple as that, but we make it so difficult and complex because we involve feelings and emotions and stuff like that. But now we're hooked with our emotions in a way that we now end up overlooking those red flags, those time wasters. And you must also be careful, like with that friend of yours that says, would a man ask her for a date, and now all of a sudden this man doesn't come back to this woman. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Or you have an appointment, like let's say maybe what you are saying is they are dating, maybe it's been 6 months, but this person repeatedly they will have an argument. Okay, we'll see each other at this time, this day, and then when the day comes, he's nowhere to be seen and doesn't even say anything up until, as a woman, you call, man, what happened? And then that's when they go, oh, sorry, man. But that's
where now you need to put some sense of value in yourself, because you need to understand that even in the jungle, the antelope does not chase the lion, but it's the lion that actually chases the antelope. So it's important to understand your responsibility as a woman. Your responsibility is not to chase. You can lie a man towards your direction, or you can attract him. But it's his full responsibility to actually, be accountable for chasing you. So if a man, for instance, he calls for a date and he does not, give reasons as to why he couldn't show up for that date, then that man is actually playing with you, he's trying to...
He's wasting time.
He's wasting your time. And remember, I think some time around the week I mentioned something on my Facebook or on my timeline to say things that are not attainable. They actually look desirable, more especially from afar. Because now he's creating a sense of of scarcity.
Yeah.
You understand?
And human nature would always long
would
for
always
that
long
thing.
for that thing. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm trying to say?
No, I
So
get
now,
you.
before the woman now gets hooked to that desire,
Mm.
that she's not even aware if that desire is actually going to be fulfilled or not, let her break away from that man. And sometimes when you cut, relationships, you must make it clear that, you know what, dude, I don't want you in my space. And there's no dude that is going to chase you after that if you make it clear. Because I also had a friend, we were talking sometime during the week. She was telling me that she's actually having problems with men that are chasing her. But unfortunately, she doesn't want those men. I was like, it depends on you, trust me. Because there's no man that is going to chase you unless otherwise you agree to it. So you understand? Sometimes women, they I think they don't want to own up to their responsibility to say no.
Yeah.
And like say no with meaning. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Meaning.
Be meaningful to say, I'm not. If you're saying no, don't call me at this time or don't call me at all. Then you must also understand that comes with also a responsibility. Even if he tries, you don't answer his calls.
Yeah.
Or you can actually go to the extra mile of blocking him because it's your phone at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You are the one that is in control of it.
Yeah.
So for him to call you, it does not really matter. But what matters is what you can do to prevent him from calling.
Man, firstly he mentioned time.
Yeah.
And that as a woman, you don't need to be the one asking, man, what about our meeting?
Definitely.
You just have to
Don't do
respect
that as a
yourself
woman.
enough and be like, okay,
Yeah.
he didn't call me, sizobona ngaye.
Yes.
And when he calls, let's say it's for the first time, okay, in my understanding, if it's the first time, you can say, I don't want you to do this to me.
Yeah.
Do that. And then if he does it for the second time, I mean, I'm like my usual way.
Yeah.
It's blush.
Definitely do that.
Blush, because what I've realized with men, is that you guys will keep on pushing the boundaries.
Exactly.
And for as long as women we keep on allowing it, he
Yes,
will push it.
yes.
If next time he doesn't come and then you tell him, no, next time please talk to me, what? Next time he doesn't do it, and still he doesn't do it. And then if you're gonna be like, hi, but I told you this, don't do this again, he's still gonna do it next time up until you show him that, man, I should have done something with my time and you're not doing it. And then you said something about words that should match the action. I remember somebody said, on your timeline when you ask a question, how do you see it? He said, if a person doesn't respond in 5 minutes or doesn't call me or whatever. And I was like, sometimes a man can call you. Or no, not call. Sometimes a man can chat with you on WhatsApp. Only to find out he's chatting with 5 other women. Because at that time he's telling himself, good magic, it's my time to flirt. Then he's gonna multitask and answer all of you. And then, so why am I going with this? Whatever he's saying, he's just having fun. It doesn't mean it. He must call you, and when he calls you, you know who to, okay, he's having this 1 hour, let's say what I call 1 hour talk. You know that he's only talking to me alone. And he's giving me the full attention. So guys, let us be mindful of the words they say compared to their actions.
But quickly, just to add on that, sometimes a man will take 5 minutes even if though he's online. Like you said, he might be busy with, other parties that he might actually be more interested on. One thing for sure, if the man is not going to waste your time. I mean, if a lion is hungry and is looking for an antelope, that lion would focus all his attention on that antelope. You must also remember, Mpulukeng, one thing for sure, I'm sure for all the guys who have chased you and who have tried to propose or have tried to, make you a wife or anything of that matter. On the initial stage, when they had that desire, they gave you all the attention.
Yeah, all of it.
The attention wasn't half baked. It wasn't half attention.
They will call you.
You understand?
500 times.
They will call you 100 times a day and they will ask you, hey, have you nowadays, because that's what they actually do. They ask you, or should I call it Uber Eats and stuff like that. So the one that is not interested to reply to your messages, because you know what? I think for a guy, if you love the woman, as soon as you see the message that pops up, you get that feeling. here's my woman, now I need to reply. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm trying
You
to
get
say?
excited.
You get excited, that excitation for that moment, and definitely you want to get back to her. And if you can't, you would definitely tell her, Kuti, look, woman, I'm so busy at the moment, but I will definitely get back to you. And she doesn't have to ask later now and say, are you still busy? You're gonna actually take that responsibility to tell her, hey, babes, I'm done now. Can we talk? Are you free? You know, understand what I'm saying? Because remember, you must also remember the days when he was still chasing you.
Oh,
You understand? That will actually give you that of his capabilities, what he's capable of doing and what he's not capable of doing. But now, all of a sudden, if that thing fades, it means now there's somebody else that is actually taking that attention. So he's gonna waste your time.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Man, and the other one said,
yeah,
if he doesn't give me or doesn't give me money or cover my needs if I tell him. And this reminded me of one of your posts the other day. I think we had a long...
Yeah, I talk a lot about money actually.
We had a long... Me and you, we had a long talk where you said, if a guy won't make means to even buy you a 1 gig data, you must know that he's playing with you.
Yeah.
He's not serious. And men should know that a woman has needs.
Yes.
And I want to believe you're not saying
a
man must now take responsibility, but once in a while they must give you money. So what do we say to this woman? If he doesn't give you money, does it mean he's wasting time?
This one is a bit sensitive because we know, I mean, we have
so where do
we've got parasites as well. No, not beside that, but it goes, both sides. And I think it needs wisdom more than anything. Because look, definitely for any guy that is chasing, because it's got stages as well, you understand what I'm trying to say? Definitely for any guy that is chasing.
Sorry for your answer. And I listened to somebody, he said, if a man, this is a guy, he said, if a man expects you to, let's say you go on a date and he expects you to pay half or your own meals, or he's like, no, tomorrow it's your turn to pay. Girl, run away. You guys are still dating. Can you imagine when you are now married? Like he says, especially if he insists, unless as a woman you're like, okay, babe, can I take you out on a special occasion? And he also, this guy said, ladies, you must stop this thing of wanting to impress men, especially with money, because it doesn't end well. So let us tackle the money thing. And
no, there's different ways to look at it, but definitely, more especially in the initial stages where the guy is chasing, I think he has to take full responsibility of the, of the monetary things, the finances and stuff like that. For instance, I cannot call you to a date, and I'm expecting to date you, obviously. And now, you did not invite me to this, I invited you. So it's common courtesy that I must actually, food, whatever the cost would be. To an extent that I must actually ask you if you have the money to come.
Even the taxi.
You understand?
Petrol. Look at the petrol if you are driving.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's my responsibility to do that.
So if a man
when I'm still chasing. But now it's different odds altogether once we have maybe consumed that stage of chasing. Now let's say for instance we're dating. And now for instance we are married. You understand what I'm trying to say? That's when now we start to discuss different strategies, more especially like for instance, but even if you're chasing, let's say for instance the woman that you're chasing, she has more a power when it comes to finances.
She's
like
blessed.
for instance, she's blessed, she's any more than you, I mean for any woman would want to say, but let's say for instance you've been going on a date like consecutively, so she would want to also, out of the willingness of her heart, to say like, dude, today I'm gonna foot the bills, fine, you can relax. But then you must also be able to see, even if you are that kind of a rich aunt or a rich sis, to see whether you are dealing with, because remember, more especially the ladies who are actually successful in their careers and they've got money, they've got all these things that they can,
they are covered.
They are covered. You must also be careful that you're not dealing with a scammer, but a real man, because a real man would actually appreciate the courtesy, but at the same time,
and I believe at first he'll be like, no, you don't have to. He will really insist.
Definitely, you understand.
But even the scammers, they'll be like, no, they push to the limit and see, wait.
But now the
he's
scammer
about to say no. He's like, okay, no, I'll let you.
Yeah, now the scammer would obviously now, once you
how
start
do we
doing
identify that scammer?
once you start doing that as a woman, now the scammer, you'd see, he will start borrowing money from you, you start doing things like, you know what, I wanted us to go out, but I don't have money. He's using reverse psychology because he knows that you have the money, you are able to fulfill that responsibility with your own money. So you want to give you the sense of you being... Yes, you understand? It's just a taganamani. So you become scammed now in that process. And now you see there will be consecutive events that are happening that would require you to actually pop out more money. But you actually, when we're dating, there's no one that is actually responsible to pay for anyone's responsibility.
Yeah.
It's only like out of the goodness of the heart that you want to do it. But even if you do it, because sometimes you find a lot of men doing things for women and they expect things in return, but they haven't really voiced out their expectations.
Yeah.
Like I said before, Uti, there's no woman in this world that would ever say no to any fund that is unsolicited.
Yeah.
If you decide to give voluntary funds to a woman,
they will know.
I mean, who wouldn't take it? Even myself, if anyone decides to say, look, here's $1,000, dude, go and, sort yourself out for this weekend, I'll definitely take that.
Yeah.
But that person now doesn't mean that they should expect something from me. I'm not going to offer them anything. They haven't voiced out their expectation that this is the agreement, this is the reason why I'm actually giving you this money. So how do you expect me now? Do you think I'm a Sangoma to daydream and start throwing bones and thinking that Ngali 100 rand it means I must go now and sleep with this person? Or Ngali 100 rand it means now I must start dating you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we must actually practice communication that is clear and
set boundaries.
Set boundaries.
Okay, you're saying when it comes to this money issue,
yeah,
there should be really like boundaries and know when to say what. Like, don't just go with the flow. Like you say, a person gives you money and they expect you to now do something in return. Yeah. So you say when it comes to money, let us be a clear conversation. Even I want to believe that even as women, if a guy is giving you money, sometimes it's wise to ask, Guti, are you sure you're giving me this money?
But what if you need that money? What if you need that money? I'm still gonna ask.
Yes, what if we break up or what? Are you not gonna want your things back and go around and be like, hey, no, the money, this and that, or feeling like you own me because of the topic that we cannot run away from, EGBV. Most of the people who are abused is those whom men have been financing. So the man's responsibility is to let the woman go to, okay, I'm giving you with an intention to withhold you, so that the woman accepts it willingly and knowing that, yes, you will share with this person. And then now as a woman, you still have a responsibility to make sure that is the money have a say name. Okay, with this money, you are mine.
Yes.
Then you decline it because now the love of money should not take our lives.
There should be boundaries.
There should be boundaries.
Look, I think the first most important thing to actually avoid that is for us to tell women more especially. I think we've seen it with a lot of cases from, the celebrities. We have seen it with the black coffees. We have seen it with the anchors.
Yeah.
So it's important, even if you are in marriage, that as a woman, you are able to make your own money.
Yes.
You understand what I'm trying to say? Even if the man is bringing like 80% of the salary, but don't just sit there and call yourself a housewife, What is it that you are doing that brings money? Even if it's managing the man, let's say for instance, the man is maybe a celebrity or he's more busy than you. You must also now have a way to say that, okay, fine, I'm going to use my energy maybe to manage you.
Be your PA
I'm going to be your PA. I'm going to be your wardrobe artist or whatever. But at least do something that is actually going to pay you as well. So that you don't depend
fully
on this man entirely. Because at the end of the day, things can happen. You can break up with this man. There's divorce and there's all that. Or the man can die anytime. How are you going to sustain yourself? That's the question that we should always ask yourself. Because like this morning, I was speaking again about that issue, I think, of money, that I don't succumb to this idea of women that are saying that they want to get married to rich guys. What I normally interpret that, I normally say this one is lazy, she's entitled, she's stagnant, and she's not willing to work hard. You understand? Because there's a difference between a woman that would say, I want to get married to a rich guy, and a woman that would say, I want to become rich with my partner. I want to build an empire. You see, that one now is assertive. She's willing to put the hard work, and she understands what riches entail. You understand? And riches is all about taking a risk, you know. And the other one is not willing to take any risk, but the only risk that she's willing to take is to get married to a guy that is already established, he's got all the money, you know. And we also need to warn men against, you know, such women, because definitely if you are going to involve yourself with a woman that is of that mentality, which we call it poverty mentality, that woman is going to make you poor as soon as possible, because she's
taking.
You understand? She's taking. She's a parasite. You know, she's I don't know what we can describe her, but she's a taker basically. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's a different case also to when it comes to marriage, because now marriage, I think we are more into, because obviously there's like a contractual agreement now, you know. So there's also different ways in terms of how we can do it. Sometimes we can put our resources together and decide from there, or we can decide to say, you're gonna pay the cars, you're gonna pay the house, you're gonna do the groceries, you're gonna take care of the things that need to be done in the house. But remember now, relationships, they differ. They are not the same. You cannot apply the same strategies that I'm applying in my house. It depends for both of us. How is it, you know?
How is it gonna go?
How is it going to fit, of course, our relationship and stuff like that. So
Well, guys, we had to dive in the money part, but then let's go back to
it's not about
wasting people's time. What else can we say? I can only think of those two. If a person doesn't talk to you, less communication, or they wrong you and they don't come back to you, and the one that I've mentioned, that they don't want to at least spoil you once in a while.
Okay, there's another one. This one, you know, I normally discussed with a lot of men to find out exactly that when a man says he loves a woman, when does that thing actually start? And when a man is going to be serious about the woman, when does that actually start? And what I've learned and what I've found out in my research is that that thing actually starts immediately with men. But with women, I think it's a whole different game altogether. But with men would know immediately where he wants to take this woman to. If he wants to take you to bed, he would know immediately.
Really?
I tell you, 100%.
Like you like from the minute you talk to me, you just know this one I want to wife her.
Yes.
This one I'm just gonna.
Definitely.
This one, you know, the flatter and if we have stealing, so.
Definitely, you get what I'm saying.
Really?
Hence, now we have the case where you would be in love with the man for maybe this.
I need to So if a guy has been with you for 5 years, it means they've been knowing all along. So what's making them delay? They are not sure. Lale, you guys are gonna date for 5 years, and then after 5 years, then he marries you. What is happening? Because you know from the beginning, you would say,
it's not rocket science. Well, sometimes it could be a matter of that he actually compromised for you because of time, you know, and because of what he was actually looking for. He sees that now, you know what, there's no longer a chance of actually getting what I wanted to get.
Really
because the only reason that should actually hold a man not to marry you, I think it's money. But if he's decided about you, it shouldn't really take him long for him to marry you.
Even in 2 months.
Even in 2 months. Like I said, if it's possible, 2 months is more than enough. Because you actually take a month long to know a person. Whether you're going to be sustainable with this person or you're not going to be sustainable. Then the rest of the time, we're just wasting each other's time. That is the honest truth. That we always run away from, you know. And now, like, look, for instance, a man that is wasting your time, he would keep on postponing ceremonial events. Like, You get what I'm saying? Like, for instance, lobola, when you ask him about lobola, we'll bring up excuses and say, Ish, but you know what? I'm not ready. Then if you're not ready, because my idea is, let's not get into relationships or even dating when we're not ready. Because relationships they require what? Emotionally preparedness and mentally preparedness. Because there's consequences to relationships. You consequences are you're gonna have a kid. You know, there's a lot of things that can happen in between. And those things they require that you are emotionally and you are physically prepared. Financially ready. And financially ready as well. So why do you even get it? You must ask the man as the woman to say, why are you now inviting me into this relation? Why are you inviting me into your life if you're not ready for me?
So you want to tell me, oh, this thing is like, okay, I think I've heard it. I've once heard Zexpan doing Atib. Asabona Unandi from the TV. He was like, this is gonna be my wife.
Definitely.
So he knew from Angakakhulumina sayoshela this is what
I'm deciding upon.
So this thing of usually when I listen to podcasts or whatever YouTube channels, they'll be telling us tips how to get your man to marry you. Actually, there's no tip.
There's no tip.
There's no tip. There's nothing you can do for him to marry you.
You can actually, maybe what you can do, but also I say that is stupid. I mean, you cannot ask someone to do something that they're not willing to do. Because remember now, what women forget is that you guys fascinate so much about the wedding, but you forget that the wedding is actually a day. But what you're going to be stuck with is the marriage. Yes, you can force him to marry you, but you're only going to enjoy the wedding. Then what happens after? Now when you have to live in that marriage. And we really need to be careful of that, because we are like, you know, life is very short. And now if you add such stress in your life, it means that you are actually, you know, you are forbidding yourself of peace, because you are going to live with that man for the rest of your life, or for, and we don't know for how long.
No, let's say you do love him. But then I got Poppy the question.
But love is
then
not...
they give you those tips, you know, when they saw cook for him this, I won't put you are the real woman. But if you're telling me that a man knows whether you know how to cook or not, they already made up their mind. This one I want to marry them. So guys,
no, that is true. I mean, there's no extra thing that you definitely need to do, because let's also get away with this idea that marriage is love. Marriage is not love. Marriage is not sustained on the sole basis of life. You need compatibility. You need a person that you're going to see the world alike. You need a person that you're going to reason with. You need a person that is going to understand your ideas, your personality, and that you're going to be compatible with those personalities as well. But now, if you're going to go into marriage with the sole basis of how many people have you loved in your life, and I'm sure there's still some people that you still love, but do you think you're going to survive in marriage with those people? You understand what I'm trying to say? So love is a common thing. Of course, we can love each other, but let's not allow love to fool us, you know?
So when you make a marriage decision as a woman, you need to know, am I ready?
You need to know. More importantly, if he's also ready. If he's also ready. Avoid dating people that are not ready for serious events in your life, like lobola. A man that is serious about you, he would soon discuss that, you know what, I need to marry you, I need to lobola you, and, you know, start discussing those events that they must happen in the process of you coming together. Or, you know, in you building that life that you both want. But now the problem is, you know, sometimes we neglect these things. A man is only speaking up for today. It does not mention you in the future, or it does not even mention you in his future. But now you want to, and the longer you take, the more difficult it becomes for you to actually say no and move away.
Oh, yes. The longer you stay in the relationship, it's hard for you.
The longer you stay, it's hard.
You're busy digging this hole, so it's going to be difficult to get out.
Definitely, it's going to be difficult for you to get out now. And you must also ask yourself, because if someone does something consistently, it does that. The question that you must ask yourself is that, how long are you going to? You understand? How long are you going to sacrifice for that? Because I mean, no one in his sober mind would do something that consistently, so that you also
that
say
hurts
that
you.
it's hurting you.
Yeah.
And there's no one that is gonna love you and but still want to hurt you. Because sometimes you find ladies that, yeah, you know what? He loves me because sometimes he buys me a pie. That is why we must get people to have their own money so that they don't think love is a pie or
let your stomach decide.
or an
this is
Uber
love.
Eat, that arrives maybe even on the 25th of the month only. So
Oh my
it's
God.
important, man. I am looking for women to establish themselves, but also for the man also to establish himself before, because most of the time is, and I would also say this: avoid dating men that are more especially in the context of Africa, because a man actually has another phase that he has to grow. You understand, compared to the woman. So avoid dating men that are still under 30.
Really?
You get what I'm saying? Because they're not really ready to establish a home. They're not really ready to establish
They're still
a home.
playful.
Apart from being playful, but the economical state of our country. Because remember, the Bible says, and even socially so, we say that the man is supposed to be the provider. So the man, before he thinks about getting married, he thinks about the house. You understand? He thinks about providing for that family, of course.
Yeah.
So sometimes that can actually hinder the man, or it can make him to delay that process, because he first wants to establish, the ground first before he actually invites. But for you as a lady, because obviously the man has to invite you, so it's easy, because I mean, I think about it this way: anyone who's invited to the party does not necessarily have to carry the cost.
Yeah.
So it's the person that has to carry the cost, that has to think about the people that I'm inviting, and when am I inviting them. So that's why I'm saying, for a lady, because she's just sitting and waiting there to be invited.
Yeah.
So she does not have any responsibility. But the only responsibility that the woman is having, it's not that she does not have a responsibility per se, but the only responsibility that she has is to keep on learning. You learn in the process, so that you avoid being wasted. Wasting your time, or being invited by people that are going to waste your time. So you are able to examine that this one is inviting me to a church, or this one is inviting me to a club. You understand those dynamics, and you are able to say that this, I'm not willing. I'm not actually the type of a person that is actually willing to be invited to a club. I want to be invited to church. Then you precisely stick to those men that are going to invite you in that direction.
And stay away from thinking that you can change a man's behavior.
You don't change anyone's behavior, more especially when they are grown adults. And that does not also mean that every man would be ready by dating. Because remember, we still have 42-year-olds that are still immature. They're still taking dating as a hobby or as a sport. They want to sample women. They want to go around playing with high school kids and stuff like that. Like I said before, Guti, there's no man that is sober that would actually want to say, I want to build something, and go to high school and say, I'm going to look for a woman. What woman are you going to look for there? Because that kid is still thinking about homeworks. She's still thinking about classwork. You understand what I'm trying to say? And eventually she's going to become a woman. And once she becomes a woman, she's going to develop her own values. Are you going to be able to, to still survive with that woman that she's going to become? Me and you, we can talk till Jesus comes. But then, guys, what we're taking here is that value time. Time is important. Time is important. And any man who loves you will give you time. Men who loves you will give you time. Yes. They won't waste your time. And any person, if they love you, they will give you their time. That is something precious. And the other thing you said, we have our sixth sense. Guys, let us listen to our intuition, or whatever. You're feeling that uneasy feeling, that uncertainty. The red flag. Please listen to it. Don't be like, maybe I'm imagining things. You're not. Be able to observe actions. There's no way you are imagining things. Listen to your intuition and do the right thing. If you have to interrogate,
that person about that thing that you're feeling insecure or feeling uncertain about. Ask, and if you're not happy, be there. And the other thing, be strong enough to leave if a person is not showing you that they do love you. Just go, man, because most of the time they keep on doing these things.
I think we need to overemphasize that if a person is mistreating you, leave.
Yes.
If a person is not,
it's not showing you love, it's not showing you time, it's not interest, doesn't show interest. They show the minute you say, it's fine, then they show interest.
And the other thing, as a woman, you must also be able to have values. Anyone who comes into your life must be able to fulfill those values. If they're not fulfilling any of those values, leave them.
So what it means, we need to have values. If you don't have, obviously, any Tom Dick
you can come and say
and what I've heard about standards is that
because you don't have the standards.
If you don't have values, people will set them for you.
Definitely.
So first thing, you're going to set them for yourself. And then, if anybody doesn't fulfill that, you must know that they're wasting your time. And make them know, don't be apologetic. Because one thing is, I've dated, there are times where you're like, I'm getting it too much.
I'm just let it slide.
And you say, no, unapologetically so, state your values, what you stand for. If a person can't stand it, as soon as possible, leave them. Doesn't matter whether they are tall, dark, and handsome. Let them go. Because you're not gonna have conversation with their beauty.
You're not gonna eat beauty.
You're not gonna eat their
You're not gonna raise kids with beauty.
You see? So guys, we're learning a lot. We are. I don't want to go people with a lot of time. Man. I hope our thing has.
The thing it runs, The time is running. But
guys,
you are awesome, Pulukeni and the viewers there. You guys, we appreciate you. I appreciate you as well. I think we're getting a lot from these guys.
No. I see the views are really increasing, and thank you guys for watching. I hope what we said has helped, even if it's one person.
It's just a single person.
We are happy because that's what we're here for, to help that one woman not to make the mistake. They will regret for the rest of their lives. No, there are also other people who get tripled, There are other women who get tripled.
The one with the older woman is very difficult because now you must understand they've been there in that relationship for 20 years. For them, it's a different case. And it's much harder. But at least if we can teach the young ones to do the right things while they're still young, then definitely we've got a better future for women.
Choose yourself, guys. And from me and
ciao.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Please,
guys, don't forget
the video.
to subscribe and like, and comment and share with somebody.